it's Megan. I thought that it would be a perfect time to talk to you guys about my financial goals for 2017 as it is so close to being the end of 2016. I do not understand where this year went. 2016 was an amazing year for me personally. I grew so much as a person this year, and I am proud to say that 2016 is one of the defining years of my life, and that has really changed me. And I don't know, I've just improved so much, and I'm so proud of that, and I'm really happy with the person that I've become over 2016. And in 2017, I just want to keep building on that and continuing to grow and improve and always trying to be the best version of myself that I can be. And something that I really focused on this year that you guys know about is my financial goals and improving as much as possible with my spending and my saving and understanding and like choosing where my money goes. And it's just been a really great year for learning all of those things and doing trial and error and making mistakes, but growing from them and improving upon all those things. And it's just been a really positive year for me. And I did do a financial goals video for 2016 at the end of 2015, and I rewatched that this morning, and I think I'm going to do a separate video talking about those goals and how I did over 2016, just to reflect on that and remind myself how well I did at some things and how much more I can improve on in other ways. And I'm going to do that separately from my plans and goals for 2017. There is some overlap, but I definitely have more concrete goals for 2017. 2016 was, like I said, kind of a trial and error. I didn't really know or was good at any of these things in the past, and so now that I really do have my footing a lot better than I did when 2016 started, I think that in 2017 I can set a little bit higher goals for myself with actual like money values of save this much, pay off this much, etc. And also just have different goals than I had in 2016. So I have some like specific goals, and I'm not going to share like the amount of money that I'm trying to save up, but because I don't think that's like a necessary thing for anyone other than myself to know. But I am going to tell you guys what like categories of my saving that I am really going to work on this year. And I'm just really excited for 2017. I don't know if I'm going to be moving out in 2017. That's kind of an up in the air thing. If you were to ask me right now, do I think I'm going to move out in 2017? I would say no, because there is so much more that I would be able to save if I don't move out. And I don't need to move out right now because the job that I have is so close to where I live. It is really unnecessary for me to move out. If I were to get a different job in 2017, I might move. So that's kind of something I'm unsure about in 2017. That would definitely change a lot of my financial like planning, my budget, where my money would be going. But for now, with the perspective that I have for my 2017 year, staying at the same job, living at home, these are my goals. So my first thing, and I want to touch on this more in my reflection of my 2016 goals, but I did start my 401k this year. I'm so proud of how much I've already been able to save in my 401k. But one of the goals that I have for 2017 is to open an index fund that is separate from my 401k. So I'm trying to save a certain amount of money up in order to open my index fund and then have an additional like stake in the stock market to save up for my future. And that's just a personal decision that I made for myself, that I want to have two separate like long-term savings like stock market things and just be able to grow that money as much as possible over the next like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And I know that if I start now, it'll just really help me out in the future. So that's a big goal of mine this year. I'm very close to my goal for the amount of money that I want to open the index fund with. And that's basically my first savings goal for this year because I want to open that index fund as soon as possible. Then once the index fund is open and the money that I've been putting towards saving for my index fund, I'm going to put that money towards moving out. So the money that I've been like putting into my index fund savings account, I am then, once that is in the stock market and in my index fund, I'm going to take that money that I budgeted for that specifically, and I'm going to switch my budget to include that amount of money in my moving out savings. So I'm going to like exponentially increase my moving out savings every paycheck. And the way I budget is per paycheck. I get paid bi-weekly, and it's just a lot easier than to try to figure it out monthly for me. And I've really switched my budget for next year. I am trying to get a lot better at telling my money where it goes. Basically the idea of you need a budget software, and even if you don't have the you need a budget software, sign up for their emails. They send out weekly like blast emails with so much good information and articles from people who have really changed their lives due to budgeting, and I think that that is just such an amazing thing to be reminded of every single week, and to get that in your inbox as opposed to like companies sending you like, oh my god, buy our stuff. You get an email saying like, if you budget your money and you don't spend as much at this very moment, you will have an even richer life in the future, and you won't be controlled by money, you'll control your money. And I just really love that weekly reminder, and I really love the You Need a Budget articles in the blog. So then once I have that money towards moving out, then I'll be like really hardcore saving for moving out, which I haven't been doing very much in 2016. And I didn't really do that in 2016 because it wasn't really a reality. So now that I know in the next 2 years probably I will be moving out, I really do want to focus on my moving out savings and just help grow that, so then I can buy furniture and all those types of things that I'll need to do once I do finally move out. Then I want to get to a certain goal in my emergency fund. I have quite a large emergency fund right now, large for me, and I'm so proud of how much I've been able to save in terms of my emergency fund. And an emergency fund is something I really believe in that everyone should have, even if you can only put $5, $10, $20 in every paycheck or every week or every month. Putting in as much as you can into an emergency fund, if God forbid something happens to your partner or to your job or to your health, or just something changes drastically that you don't expect, having a cushion to fall back on, even if it's not so much money. Like I think Dave Ramsey says to have 3 months savings, like 3 months of expenses in an emergency fund, which is a shit ton of money, which would take a long time to save up for. But even if you have just a few $1,000s in an emergency fund, that can really change things and help if something unexpected happens to you. So I'm trying to reach my next goal in my emergency fund, and I know that I'll be able to hit it this year. I just needed to write down the goal for myself and remind myself how important it really is to me to have that money, and how it is important for me to always have money in an emergency fund, no matter what stage of life I'm in, if I'm single, if I'm married, if I have children, if I'm retired, whatever age that I am, I really want to have an emergency fund of money that I can access at any time that's not reliant upon someone else like giving me that money. So I don't have it in like the stock market. I don't have it in any like crazy form. I just have in my bank account, I just have an emergency fund account, and I can take it out or add to it as much as I please. So I want to hit my next goal with that and hopefully exceed that goal in 2017. Then my student loans. My student loans were my number one priority in 2016. I paid off so much of my student loans. I am thrilled. I paid off like a fourth of what I owe in my student loans, which is crazy. I added it all up last week, and I was like brought to tears about how much I was able to pay off this year. And I have a goal for this year of how much I want to pay off, and it's about the same amount that I paid off in 2016. Because I have in my budget, I have a certain amount that I put every paycheck, and that is definitely feasible for me to do. I've been able to do it over the past like year, and in some months I've been able to put more money than I even budgeted for. And that feels really, really amazing. When I got my tax return this year, I put it all towards my student loans, and that really helped me. I definitely want to do that in 2017 when I get that. And I'm just so proud of how much of that I've proved to myself that I can pay off my student loans in the time frame that I've basically thought out for paying them off. I thought that it was a little bit of a lofty goal for how quickly I want to pay them off, but I really think that I can stick with it and maybe even do it faster than I planned on. So I am really, really happy about that, really proud of myself, and adding up all of the money that I paid towards those student loans this year really put it into perspective that putting a few $100s towards something every month might not seem like a lot, but adding it up over a 12-month period is so amazing, and you can see how much closer you are to financial freedom, and it's such a wonderful feeling. So I can't wait to stick with my plan and my budget for my student loans and hopefully get even closer to paying them off in 2017. Okay, then the rest of my goals are more like, I guess, general ideas of things that I want to do. They aren't like specific money goals or anything like that. But I know that in 2017, it'll be another year of concerts for me. 2016, I saw a wide range of amazing concerts, and I'm very, very thankful to have seen so many amazing bands and smaller bands, a lot of smaller bands this year. And I know in 2017 several of my favorite artists are going to be going on tour, and I know that those tickets will not be cheap, like Lady Gaga, One Republic. Those tickets are going to be a few $100s each, I'm sure. So I know that I am planning on going to these concerts. Like, there's no question in my mind whether or not I am going to them. I will go to them. So since I know that, I want to save up for concerts in general over the course of the year. So in my budget, I am budgeting a certain amount of money per paycheck to save up for concerts, so that when it comes time to buy those tickets and you have to shell out that money like right away and you can't really think about it, I already have money saved up that I can put towards those tickets. So that's something I really think will help me this year, because I basically just use money that I budgeted towards like spending or entertainment, just like those general categories of my budget. I put those towards concert tickets this year, and it definitely I didn't have enough budgeted for all the things that I wanted to do, so I had to take things out of like my going out to eat money and stuff. So I want to just save specifically for concerts, and I think that'll really help me in 2017. One of my major goals for 2017 is to shop as little as possible, because I know that Black Friday is going to have the best deals all year. So I'm going to try to save and budget my money towards saving for those really amazing sales that are way in the future. They feel way in the future, but Black Friday 2017 will creep up on us before we know it. And to put like $20 or whatever amount of money every paycheck, that's going to help save up hundreds of dollars by the time that Black Friday comes around. So I think that that's going to be a really great thing for me to start implementing this year into my budget, that I'm going to continue in the future. I didn't think of that early enough in 2016 to budget it in to my like yearly budget, but my Aunt Sue, I think it was in like the summer or fall, she was like, tell your viewers that if they save up $50 every week from now until Christmas, they'll have like however much money. And I just think that's a really great way of thinking about it. And if you start as early as you possibly can, just think how much money you will be able to have saved up, that then you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, Christmas gifts are so expensive and I only have the money that I got in my last paycheck. Like, you'll have been saving for all the months of the year, and then it won't feel as much of a burden, and it won't take a big hit on the money that you have just received from your paycheck. So I think that's going to be a really great thing for me to do this year. I also want to use cash as much as possible this year. I want to get out of the habit of using my credit and debit cards. It's so easy not to feel the money like being ripped out of your hands if you just use your card and you swipe it, or you do that stupid chip thing that we now have that takes forever at the cashier. And online especially, you just type in those numbers and suddenly you have $50 less than you had before, but it's not really like you're counting out the money and handing it to someone. It's not like that visual and tactile reminder of letting money go. And so I want to use cash as much as possible, especially on things that I don't really need to purchase, such as like makeup, clothing, like additional stuff that I don't need to be buying or spending my money on. So I think that's definitely going to be a big change for me, because I pretty much put everything on my Amex since I get cash back, and that's why I've gotten into the habit over the past year of just putting everything on there, paying it off every month, which isn't a bad thing, but I do notice that I buy more than I would if I were handing that money out to a cashier at a store and seeing my wallet get thinner and thinner from not having as much money anymore. So I haven't decided if I want to do a cash envelope system or just have like my cash budgeted when I take money out at the ATM and say, okay, you have $50 for this, $40 for this, whatever. I haven't figured that out yet, but definitely using cash more this year is going to be something I want to start doing again. And I'm so stuffed up. I was really sick yesterday and I'm getting over it, but still lots of congestion. Okay, I want to find less expensive alternatives to higher end products that I'm already using, and I always want to keep in mind quality over quantity, which is why I recently have invested in a nice pair of heels and like different things like that. That's probably the best example. A nice leather jacket, a nice winter jacket, things that I'm going to be using for quite a long time. I do want the quality to be there. I don't want to have to replace those things every year or every few years. I want it to last for a long time. But at that same hand, you can find less expensive options that are good quality as well. And what I really want to do for this find less expensive alternatives to higher end things is especially in terms of makeup, skincare, hair care, those types of things, because those are things that you do replenish eventually. They will eventually run out, especially skincare, hair care, body care. And while I do think there are some things that are worth the investment, like skincare, I really want nice ingredients in my skincare. You can find natural products or make your own natural products that are way less expensive than another alternative higher end option. So that is just something I want to keep at the top of my mind, is that I don't always have to buy a really expensive thing or a more expensive thing. A less expensive alternative might be just as good, if not better. And I want to remind myself of that in all aspects of my life, in terms of going out to dinner, staying at a hotel, those types of things. It doesn't have to be the most luxurious or the most fancy or whatever. You can get just as good of an experience with a less expensive alternative. Okay, and then I have two kind of lists that I'm going to be making and keeping throughout the year. So the first one is material objects. So things like essential or staple items that I want to invest my money in, that I actually need. Like, I have a void of them. It's not like I have lipstick on this list. I have so much lipstick and makeup and everything. These are like home things and wardrobe pieces. So the only things that I have on my list right now are a food processor, black leather heels, and black leather boots. So I have those things on my list because they have been items that I've wanted to purchase for quite a few months, but haven't found the right pair or the right one, or I haven't wanted to invest my money in those items at this exact time. But I think if I keep a list of like these staple items that I definitely want in my life, that will deter me from buying like these frivolous things that I don't really need more of, like makeup, skincare, books, stuff like that I don't really need more of, that I already have plenty of. So I really want to keep that list going. I think that it'll be a very short list, even over the span of the year, because I don't need too much. I have a lot of the things that I use currently and that are useful to me, but there are going to be things here or there that I realize, oh, I should replace whatever. Like, I should get new flip-flops in the summer, or I should get new jeans, or whatever it is. And then off of that list, I will, if I'm getting an itch to shop, I will look at this list and be like, okay, these are the like realistic, practical things that you should buy. You shouldn't buy $50 of makeup at Marshall's or whatever. That's basically what my ultimate goal is to stop myself from buying things that I don't really need and only buy things that I actually have thought about and do need, either right at this moment or will be useful to me in like a few months' time. And then I think something that is so important that I'm really excited to do in 2017 is to make a list of all of my long-term goals and things that I want to do with my life that cost money, such as moving and living somewhere different trips that I want to take, and look at that list whenever I might get an urge to shop or just don't feel as inspired about budgeting or whatever the case may be, to look at that list and remind myself of all the things that I have to look forward to, that saving or spending less right now will help me reach those goals sooner and ever. Like, some of the goals might not be possible if I spend loads of money right now. Like, I need to save for those things now in order to have those things in the future. So I thought of that this week, and it really struck a chord with me to realize that, and things that seem so far off in my mind, like that seem like only really old adults would do, like get married and have children and stuff, like things that aren't even on my horizon at this moment. those things are expensive things, and if I don't create good habits now and save as much as I possibly can, those things will feel more like a burden than a blessing almost. So I'm trying to really be mindful. 2017 is going to be the year of mindfulness. I really practiced mindfulness in 2016, but I want to become even better at it in 2017, being mindful of my emotions, my money, like other people in my life, always being compassionate and empathetic. And I just know that I can improve so much more in every aspect of my life if I'm more and more and more mindful of everything and every decision and every word that leaves my mouth and every thought that I have. It sounds like so hippie to say that, but I really believe in it, and I know that it'll help me in my financial journey and in my present and in my future for my life. And really everything comes down to money, as difficult as it has been for me to admit that, because I hate how money feels like this weight over everyone's shoulders that is just always there and can be extremely stressful. But if you can create good habits for yourself, and I'm lucky that I am just a single person, like I have a boyfriend, but single in terms of married, and my money, I just have to worry about my money. No one else has to like live off of my income other than myself. And I know that when I do eventually get married and have a family and all those exciting things in my future, doing and practicing all those good habits now and really trying my best at creating good habits for myself will benefit all those people that I am going to be responsible for or be in a partnership with. And it's weird because a lot of people I know are getting married and having children, and so that has kind of been on my mind a lot more than it would have been in high school or college, and everyone just seems so old and stuff. So I'm realizing that I'm getting older, and I have to create these habits now, and I know that I'm doing a really good job, and I know that I can do even better. So I'm really, really excited about 2017 in terms of everything, but I think that these financial goals will really bring me a lot of happiness in 2017, just continuing to practice my budgeting, and I don't know, it's just a really good feeling to be in tune with your money and to be really honest with yourself when it is hard to be that way. So I hope that these like goals or whatever were interesting to hear, and if you guys have goals that you are going to be working on in 2017, I would love to hear them, whether they're like more generic goals or more specific goals. I would really love to have a conversation with you guys in the comments about them, because this is a topic that I'm really passionate about, and I'm really thankful to share my thoughts with you guys about this type of thing, because it's not something that everyone really wants to talk about. So it's really fun to have this outlet. But that is everything for my financial goals. I am going to film next my panning and use it up and beauty plans for 2017. I have a few more thoughts than I did the last time I did a current thoughts on beauty and like panning and stuff like that. So that's going to be my next video that I'm filming, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you all are having such an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye.